Hey Jake, I was in the PHX airport. That's a Phoenix International Airport, and there was dog poop in the concourse. As they say down there, that is no bueno. You
Yeah.
don't want dog poop, or I could use a different word. It was like four people around a tiny dog and some turds on the ground. And I apologize to anybody who's listening to this, watching this, and eating right now, as were hundreds of people. That's what you do in an airport terminal
Yep.
generally. I had 4 hours to kill. I was on my way to get some Mexican food. Did not need to see that. Was not happy about it. I don't know what your stance is on the whole service animal.
I'm anti dog poop in public.
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
kind of
be
agree.
bold.
Indoor, I mean, public, outdoors, I'll give it a pass. Public
Yeah, yeah.
indoors, hard no.
Hard no indoors.
Hard no. And they were
Indoors.
giggling about it. They no shame in these people. Come on.
So, so okay. So let's break this down. So the dog went right. That might not be, and that's just dogs do that. Okay, I get it.
Yep.
It was the fact that it was then abandoned.
No, 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 no. They were in the process of trying to figure out what to do about the situation as the dog was continuing to unleash additional items. I don't know what we can say here and not get you know,
Uh,
demonetized.
so,
Not that we are monetized at all, but
yeah,
someday
yeah.
maybe. Um,
That's yeah.
yeah,
I have
it was a bummer.
I have seen the dog in tow where the dog is walking behind the owner. The owner's half
Yeah,
paying attention, whatever. The dog drop a nugget, and then
Nugget,
everybody
that's a
keeps
good
on
one.
moving.
Yeah,
Every
they don't even
and
notice.
not notice, not care, and now it's like somebody else's problem, which
Yeah,
that I am firmly against. If the dog has a right to be on the airplane, now we can debate that. We can think,
yeah,
hey, there's too many
yeah. I
dogs
do
on
want to
there.
be clear. Not the dog's fault.
Yeah,
Dog shouldn't be there in the first place.
yeah,
Have the dog in I don't know, an outdoor area. Don't fly with that tiny dog. I don't think
yeah,
it's servicing anybody. But, anyways, I was grinchy about it. I definitely had my
yeah.
since we're into December now, and so it's time for bad holiday jokes. You want a
Ooh,
bad holiday joke?
yeah, of course.
Okay. What do you call a reindeer with no eyes?
Reindeer with no eyes.
Jake, what do you call a reindeer with no eyes? I have no idea.
Okay, all right, that was a bad one.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Early Merry Christmas. Look at it. If you're watching the YouTube, if you're listening to this, you should be checking this out on the YouTube. Look at
Yeah.
all this Thanksgiving stuff, which is a little
Wow, that's
old right now, but when we're recording this, it's kind of where'd the oh yeah, that's cute. No, this is the one I'm looking for. Look at that cute little turkey with
that's
a
a nice.
wagon. Definitely get on the YouTube right now and find turkey with a wagon at the three
That's a
minute and
nice
38-second mark. Uh,
turkey with a wagon. Here, I got a bad Christmas joke.
okay.
Uh, what is Santa's favorite number? What is Santa's favorite number? It
Okay.
is
Is it six
12
seven?
12s,
Nice. Nice.
which doesn't
Pretty
even make
good.
sense. 12 is plural,
Yeah.
whatever.
It's
12s.
more than one number, but that's cute. I would not have come up with that. I was trying to think of numbers 1 through 10. I wonder
Yeah.
if I went all the way to 15 if I would have figured that out.
Mm.
Um yeah, what's going on, buddy? What's shaking? I know this wasn't a big comedy week for either of us, but I got a bunch
Yeah.
of I don't know how. I have a ton of comedy stories somehow.
Well, it's been a while since we been together. But yeah, I've got a ton of comedy stories as well. I got an airport story. This
Okay.
happened years ago, back as a little boy, back when you could go all the way to the terminal to pick up, a passenger. So my mom was
Yep.
flying in, and we were able to go all the way to the terminal. But we're at DIA, Denver International Airport, which is where I got
Stapleton or DIA?
really real DIA. This is early. I mean, the DIA has not existed for very long. It's probably only
Okay.
2 years old at this point.
Okay.
And I actually got engaged at DIA. So DIA
I didn't
has a
know
big
that.
place
That's
in my life.
fun.
And so anyway, well, we were
Which terminal?
probably right outside of, you know how you get off the train and you go up the escalator,
Yeah.
like right there.
Into the main concourse?
Main concourse. That's where I got
Right, where the
engaged.
people are there with like the flowers and stuff,
Yep, yep,
usually.
yep,
Yeah, yeah.
yep.
Were there any
And
dogs around?
no dogs that I can remember.
That's lucky because if you get down
That's
on one
lucky.
knee, you don't want to. The
You're
last
gonna.
thing you want is a soft landing.
That's right. Yeah, it's just squish, boom. Yeah, something stinks. But my so we're in the main concourse of DIA. I was probably 13 years old. My older brother,
When you got engaged?
when I was, no, this is a different story. And we're looking at what gate is my mom's flight coming in there. We're checking it out.
Okay.
And my brother does this like burp, and like he's about to be sick. And I noticed, me and my other brother, we noticed this, and then he's just standing there. We're looking at the big board of arrivals, and he just throws up.
Gross. What a gross episode. We're very sorry, everybody. This is a disgusting airport-themed episode. We've obviously eaten too much for Thanksgiving.
And so the two parts of this story that are my favorite. The first is me and my other brother find this so funny,
Of
and we are
course.
just watching the little puddle of vomit, and we are just dying laughing. And there's nothing for us to do. I mean, what are we supposed to do? We don't have cleaning supplies. We're teenage kids. And then we watch some businessman all important on his adventure, and he walks right through it and slips a little. That was super funny. But my brother, whenever you throw up, sometimes you throw up a little, and then you end up having to throw up a lot more. That was what the case was. So my brother, he now knows he's in an emergency situation. He's got to go throw up some more. He couldn't find like a regular trash can. He finds one of those trash cans that have like the little dome on top,
Yeah.
and then like a little hole on the side of it, like a little vertical hole. And so he's holding the door open and throwing up and like into his hand and like throwing it into the
Oh, gross.
It is one of my favorite stories of my brother.
Unbelievable. What was the culprit? Do we know what the what caused the
I mean,
sickness?
he was probably 16, 17 years old. So it's like when you're that age, you're eating just nasty stuff all the time.
Right.
So I'm sure it was something expired or some day or whatever.
Huh.
But it was funny because neither the other two brothers, we were fine and just thought this was the funniest thing. And then of course nowadays, if somebody throws up, I have at least a little bit of sympathy. Oh, you're not feeling well, I'm sorry, that sort of stuff. I didn't at that time at all.
Right.
I just thought it was super funny and like, all right, let's move on with our lives.
The original prop comic.
Oh my goodness. So it was so insanely funny.
That's awesome. Have you ever seen Chad Daniels? You know who that is?
The name, I think, I don't think I've seen him.
Okay.
I think he's been booked. I think I've been in the same city as him. I think I've almost seen him a few times, but never actually seen him.
He's a big deal, Midwest guy,
Yeah.
Netflix specials, etc.
Yeah.
I saw my Comedy Works
Yeah.
recently. Very funny. I
Yeah.
think you'd like him. He was. I'm gonna. In fact, in the Patreon, I'm gonna tell you a joke of his that was incredible.
Yeah.
You're gonna like it. I think. He had a whole chunk on religion, which is very fun.
Nice.
Yeah,
I'm a fan.
He's really good. Sold out. I think he sold out the whole weekend. Like every show was packed. It was crazy. But he's super funny. Everybody go if you're looking for some laughs, check out Chad Daniels. I got up at New Talent Night at Comedy Works.
That's great.
Pretty
That's
exciting.
awesome.
For anybody who doesn't know, New Talent Night is like the open mic is beneath it, but it's the open mic at the big comedy club in Denver. It's a booked show. You sign up, in advance, and usually you have to sign up about 12 weeks in a row, at least at the level I'm at, and then you
Yep.
get up on stage. So I get up 3-4 times a year, but people no show, and they usually have an extra spot or two. So people will show up and hang on Tuesday nights pre-show and sign up on a standby list. And I am going to check right now. Guess how many times I signed up on standby before I actually got up on standby?
Well, I would hope it'd be less than 12. So I'm going to guess 7.
16. Going all the way back to, looks like January 29th of this year. And
Wow.
I finally got up in mid-November.
Wow.
So
That's
pretty brutal. They did an all standby night. I don't know what happened. I think they had some kind of admin error. They forgot to book a lineup. So it's curated, just not every single week. Some weeks they forget.
And the interesting thing is, like, literally anybody can do it. I mean, as long as you're
Yeah.
persistent, like there is no vetting for that very first.
Yeah, I mean they change that when your very first time you're called a newbie and you only get 2 minutes. So
Yep.
if it's a disaster, it's only a disaster for 2 minutes. After that, you automatically get pushed up to a C set. You get 3 minutes, and you can be there for years or 6 months, and you
Yep.
get promoted to a B set, and then it's 4 minutes,
Yep.
and then that's kind of the top of the open mic ladder,
Yep.
unless you're passed at the club, and then you might get 5 minutes or longer.
I was recounting this story, and it's been years. I think it was 2019, the last time I've been at Comedy Works. It's been a long time. And I was recounting the story of the new talent night and somebody I was just shooting the breeze with, and I forgot. I was like, is the first time did they give you 2 minutes or 3 minutes? And I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure it's 2 minutes. Like I called for weeks to get 2 minutes. And they're like, what can you do with 2 minutes? I'm like, not much. Not much.
I've been up probably 20, 25 times.
Yep.
This was the first time I ran the light. They cut my mic.
No
What's
way.
crazy is, I mean, I was crushing so hard. I've never done that well at Comedy Works before.
Yeah.
And I have a timer, and I saw it was at 4 minutes, and I hadn't gotten the light. And I had one more joke I could tell. And so I thought, well, maybe the booth person is confused. This is how delusional comedians are. I thought maybe the booth person is confused and thinks I'm an A set, which is 5 minutes, because I'm doing so well. And then so I get like 2 words into the joke and the mic cuts. And actually it strangely worked in my favor, because the crowd was like ready to riot. They were like, instead of like the reaction was like, no, give him more time, And then I was wandering around, after my set, and people would go to the bathroom and they'd see me and it'd be like, oh man, I wanted to hear that joke so badly.
Yeah.
So,
dude, are you gonna get that tape?
Well, great story about this. I'm going to lead up to that story. So my opening joke, which was a read the room type thing, it was based on the prior comic set. It was a woman, her name's Kat something, and towards the end of her set, maybe 2/3 of the way through, she was telling a series of jokes about her therapist, and it was a guy. And so I came out and I just said, hey, everybody, I'm Kat's therapist.
Yeah.
And I, backstage, I'm like, I think this is going to work. I've seen other comedians do this kind of thing. I'm not sure. Is it like, are they going to remember that this comic had a therapist? Because she started telling, I thought of the idea, and then she started a whole new premise.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, this might not work. Jake, I got like 15 seconds of nonstop laughter from that. It was crazy. It was like, it never, like I had to start talking just to shut them up. It was insane how hard they reacted. So for the first time in probably 2 years, I asked for the tape.
Nice.
And I get this email the other day, about a week after I requested it. Hey, everybody, really sorry. There was a issue with the recording on your show night. There's no audio for any of the tape. So if you want a different night, just let us know. Unbelievable bad luck.
Wow.
So I did ask I wrote him back and I said, hey, I do want the video, no audio, please.
Yeah.
Because mostly I just want to see when I miss the light.
Sure.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to tell that
Yeah.
from the angle it's at, but I should be able to tell when I was supposed to get the light and just see if I was doing an act out and
Yeah.
wasn't looking or
Yeah.
what happened. But what a bummer. And then I'll use, I think I'm pretty sure I taped it on my phone. And so then
Okay.
I'll try and link up the two. And
Yeah.
it should be a pretty good tape. I'm excited about it.
Yeah. Yeah. You like audio recorded it on your phone?
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes I sneaky try and videotape those, which are not supposed to do. But I'm gonna start, like, forget being sneaky. If they're gonna be unreliable about having tape
Yeah.
when I want it,
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna start recording these new
Yeah.
talent night sets.
Yeah.
I
That's
should
the
be up in another couple weeks, legitimately.
Yeah. At Comedy Works, I would buy every single set, even the competitions. I remember I did a couple of competitions, and they sold them for those too. I remember I had what I thought was a pretty good set, and I contacted the radio station in
Oh
Denver to
yeah.
play I think it's not there anymore. I don't think it exists.
Yeah, I think it's online only. I forget what it is, but I've been in touch with that guy. The guy has wanted to publish some of my
Yeah.
stuff, and I didn't want him to. And but
Yeah.
I want to hear your
I
story.
I sent it to him. I'm like, "Hey, this is pretty funny, isn't it?" And he's like, "Yeah, man, it's super funny. But the audio is terrible, and we can't use it." And did you get it? Did you get it from Comedy Works? You know, obviously it was at Comedy Works, but did you get it within the last like 4 months? He had this like time frame.
Yeah,
Like, from this date to this date, they didn't know how to record audio.
yeah.
Before that, they were good. After that, they're good. But in this little section, and I'm like, "Yep, it's exactly in that section."
Well, I mean, even now the audio isn't great. It's always been the microphone audio,
Yeah.
which is great if you want to hear your voice,
Yeah.
but it doesn't capture the audience laughter very
No.
well.
No.
So
That's the thing with there's a tricky element with that where we want to be able to hear our voice very clearly, but also the audience very clearly.
yeah.
And so I mean, I've seen people have microphones pointed at the audience. I've
Yeah,
seen
you just
all
merge the 2 together and it sounds incredible, and if you do 2 audience mics and it ends up in stereo, unreal how good you I
really,
mean, you sound like Kevin Hart at
really, I need
a
to
huge
check that out.
arena. It's crazy how what a difference that makes.
Have you ever submitted anything to SiriusXM?
No, I wish. I thought even very recently, I've been thinking about, like, I just did that big run, the Never Say
Yeah.
Die tour,
Mhm.
and boom, I did the Never
Oh,
Say Die tour, and I did a bunch of hours, and I recorded a lot of them with multiple microphones,
yeah.
and one of them in particular, I think I might edit down to like 20 or 30 minutes
Mm,
and try and get it. The trick is I'd have to put out an album
mm.
because the Sirius won't take independent submissions anymore.
Oh, really?
So, but I know some record labels
Yep.
and I have video as well. So it's possible. I think a lot of them kind of want that. Um, so I'm considering doing that. The reason I wouldn't do it is because it burns. Like I wouldn't want to do those jokes on stage anymore.
Yeah.
So I have to find like 20 to 30 minutes of jokes I'm willing to never tell again, but are funny
Mhm.
enough that they could get on Sirius and or won't embarrass me
Yeah.
when they get published. So
Yeah.
I'm
That's
thinking
interesting.
about it.
I didn't know this idea of independent because I'm on SiriusXM and have been for many years now. And what happened was this guy just came through Louisville and was like, "Hey, we're going to record. You're going to get 8 minutes." You know, so like that's all.
Yeah, so he must have a label. I must have
He does
published it as an
something.
album
Yeah,
somewhere. Can you
and
buy an album that includes a track of yours?
not that
No?
I know of.
Huh.
You
It might
know,
be out there somewhere.
and
Or it could have been like they did change the rules. They had a big lawsuit, which I don't think was related to this change, but
yeah,
around the time just comedy became so popular that
yeah,
they couldn't field all the submissions.
yeah, yeah.
So here I got one last question about the new talent night thing. So I get
Yeah,
this killer email that says there's no audio, and I ask for the video with no audio,
yep.
and the person gets back to me a few days later and says, "All right, it's in my queue." Here's my question: are they going to charge me?
I would hope not.
I would hope not too, but I think I think there's a good chance they do.
They
It was
might.
kind of the same amount of work. They
Yeah.
do have to pull the video clip. They do have to, share it
Yeah.
and do all the communication.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hope this one's on the house, but I have a feeling that
Yeah.
they might charge. So
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny. I went to Zanie. I did Zanies on Monday. So just a couple of days ago. And
what happens on Mondays at Zanies? Is it like an open
oh,
mic or a bucket
so
list?
they have two shows that happen. So they have the big room. This is in Nashville. The big room, which is New Material Monday, is what they call it. I have never done new material there. I
Okay.
always want to crush.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Is this the one? Did you read the New York Times article recently about clean comedy and the resurgence of clean comedy? It
no.
talks about Nate Bargatze and Dusty Slay and maybe somebody else who I can't remember. But it talks about a show at Zany. It might be a Wednesday night show. Is there a Wednesday night show?
So it's probably the Monday night show as well because
Okay.
there's two rooms in Zanies. Zanies is an interesting. I don't know what the building looks like, to be honest with you, like the blueprint of this building, because the main room of Zanies looks like it's the old room of Zanies. They got pictures all over the walls. It looks like this has been the comedy club for years. And then there's this other entrance that they have carved into a smaller room. They call it the lab. And behind the lab, there's the green room. Behind the green room is the Nate Land podcast recording studio. So it's
Okay.
all right there in that one building.
Okay.
So I don't know how it works. It's weird. But yeah, so Nate Land Live is probably, I would imagine, is what they're talking about. Because
Okay.
that is the clean showcase. It's not quite an open mic, showcase. And it had to be clean in order to do that one. So
Okay.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably what.
Okay. So you were there Monday, and they have
and
a new material thing.
Yeah, and the reason I brought it up was because they have a little QR code that you scan, and you're like, okay, if you want your tape, pay $25, and this guy will give you your tape. But I'm pretty sure it's an independent guy. It's not anybody who works for Zanies.
Yeah, sure.
It's the dude that is doing this as a service. If you're interested,
have you done it? Is it any good?
I did do it. I did it years ago, and the angle felt weird. Like it was a really high angle.
Yeah.
And it's sometimes the audio again. It made you sound like you were bombing because you can hear yourself very clearly, and then you can't really hear the audience. And I'm like, I swear they were laughing, man.
Yeah. So what I do in those situations is I record on my phone, from like the stool, and then that's not great of my audio, but it's great of the audience laughter, and it's good enough of my audio so I can listen to it to take notes or whatever. But then if you merge the two together, then you get the laughter from your phone and then your voice from the club provided stuff. The Helium in Portland, Oregon has an independent guy. I don't know his name. Some comic who's from the Pacific Northwest would know it for sure. And that he does an incredible job. So shout out to that guy. I don't know how much it costs, but he has like a Zoom recorder. He's doing like multiple audio sources. He's got like a 4K camera. There's a guy at the Punchline in San Francisco who's also indie who does a pretty good job. I don't think the audio is quite as good, but the video is really high quality. And all these places, the Comedy Works, for anybody who's curious, they probably have a question now, which is how much does the Comedy Works cost? It's $20. It's pretty convenient. You just pay online with a credit card, and usually it takes a couple weeks before you actually get your tape. It seems slower than the old days, but I think that's because they run so many shows now. They're running shows 7 nights a week, and there's a lot of tape requests. So anyways, got on standby. Very exciting.
Very exciting.
Doesn't happen frequently, as evidenced by 16 attempts. Yeah.
Have you done Thick Skin?
I went to Thick Skin in the last month for the first time in years. and it's bad. It kind of like fell off for a while. It was only like once a quarter or something like that, because Mike Stanley, who's one of the runners, it's Mike Stanley and Matt Kobos are the
Yep.
primary co-hosts, and Mike Stanley's been the main guy for a long time.
Mm.
And he lived in Detroit for a while, in New York City, and so he would do it when he flew back to town.
Yeah.
But now he lives, I think he is still living in Denver, so it's every week.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've done it in the past. I didn't, the one time I went, I felt pretty good about it because we're only like 10 comics, and which is pretty, it's a bucket style show for
Yeah.
anybody who doesn't know. And they have a mixture of pros and the amateurs get pulled out of a bucket. And I thought I was going to get pulled, but I didn't.
Yeah.
And then I left before. They do this thing where I think they pull 3 or 4 people, and then there's like there's like a tattoo contest, like a bad tattoo contest, and then there's another pro spot that might even be longer, and then there's a whole bunch of rigmarole. So there's like a 20-minute delay between the last amateur spot pulled and then the final amateur spot. So I just left at that point. So I didn't
Yep.
want to wait that long, because the reality is I'm never getting pulled in that last spot. What
Yep.
happens is they pull 3 people, they bring them up onto stage, and the audience, without the people on stage being able to speak or move, the audience chooses.
Mm.
And I have been in that group before, and I've watched enough thick skins to know I am never getting selected.
Yep.
Tall, skinny, white guy, old, just not going to happen. There's
Not gonna-
always somebody more visually interesting than me in the 3.
Yep.
So I said hi and bye to Mike and Matt backstage, and just said I gotta get to bed early. I think I had an early flight the next day or something.
Mm. Yeah.
I go and
I
look
like,
for dog poop in airports.
I need I need to go avoid some 16-year-olds vomit. I like Mike. I think he's a fun guy and a funny comic.
Great joke writer, so funny.
Yeah, yeah. I saw him in the wild once, and then I saw him like later that, maybe it might have been that same night, might have been earlier that week at Comedy Works or something. And I saw him in the wild on one of those bird scooters,
Okay.
and he's like holding, like, and, and like he's such a cool guy. And on stage, I think he just like exudes cool, and he
Yeah.
almost like Fonzie. Like, this is just a cool guy,
Yeah.
and it does not look cool on a bird scooter.
Ah!
I don't think anybody can look cool on a bird. How can you look cool on a bird scooter? It just, he just,
I think the only way you look cool on a bird scooter is you hit a pothole, you
yeah,
launch off, and instead of breaking your wrist, somehow you
yeah,
land miraculously and pop
yeah.
up. And you're like, I'm fine.
So he's just, and I told him, like, hey, I saw you on one of those scooters, and he's like, yeah, it's it's so convenient to get around town, and
That's funny. I got a crazy story. So we've talked about this before, that I have this corporate holiday show in Colorado Springs, the couple aerospace companies. And on a whim, I hope I haven't told this story before, but on a whim, I reached out to a showrunner in Colorado Springs who happens to run Don't Tell Comedy. Does this story sound familiar?
No.
No. Okay. All right. Cool. So I reached out to this Don't Tell producer in Colorado Springs and just say, hey, I'm in the Springs and on a Saturday in a couple. Actually, when this episode comes out, it will have been the prior weekend, so this will have happened. I'm there. I'm done at 8:00. I'm driving all the way down. It's like 45 minutes from Denver. I'd love to do a second show. Don't really care what I get paid. If you got anything you can throw me on, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
So he writes me back. He's like, hey, I'm out of town. Mike Hammock is running the show. I know Mike, very funny.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll get you a spot. We'll get you on. And here's the location. And now I get nervous because Colorado Springs is massive.
Yeah.
It is like the biggest city I've ever been to. It's not very tall, a lot of short buildings, a lot of strip malls, but wide, very wide. It's massive. So I'm like, it could easily be a 45-minute drive from my corporate to this Don't Tell comedy show. I plug it into Google Maps. I put in the location of my corporate. I put in the name of the bar that he just sent me. I think it's like an axe throwing bar or something like that. And like Google Maps shows me a screen I've never seen before. And I thought like the internet went out or there was some kind of error. No, they're in the same building. The drive time is basically 0 and
The same building.
the same building in all of Colorado Springs.
Yeah.
What are the odds of a private comedy event and a public comedy event that I get booked on both and they're in the same building?
That's crazy. Yeah, that's good.
It's
Great.
very good. It's
Very
good
good.
news, Jake. I can walk between these shows.
Yeah. I gotta get to my next show. Oh, I'm already here. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Unbelievable. Turns out it's it's an elementary school that went out of business or whatever. I guess schools don't go out of business, but they repurposed it as like a private business space. So like the gymnasium is still like kind of a gymnasium, but also a private event space. The like classrooms are like restaurants and wild. What luck.
Yeah.
Incredible luck.
That's great. I wonder how much it'll still look like an elementary school.
Yeah,
Like,
I'll let you know.
Because I have done a show at a place like that where hey, this is elementary school, went up for sale. This guy bought it, and then he's like renting out.
Yeah, I've never heard of this. Somebody told me they do this all over.
And I performed in the former cafeteria, and they, it was nice, but it really felt like a elementary school. Like it was screaming elementary school the whole time. You're walking down the hallways, you're walking in the cafeteria. You're like, I went to some of the booths. One of the little booths was obviously in a classroom, and then they knocked the wall out of one of the classrooms. So it was 2 classrooms put together. It was this cool little like old vintage toy store, like old toys. And so it was neat to look around there. And there's another place that was like a Brazilian jiu-jitsu place in another one of the classrooms and another like dog grooming place. But the whole thing, you're like, we're in Mrs. Shelley's room right now.
Yeah.
And the guy who runs it, I don't think he owns it, but the guy who runs it, who booked me, he was like, yeah, I went to elementary school here. Like, that's
no way.
Bananas.
That's crazy. What a like weird rebirth of a space. What other weird places do they turn into? Like they turn shopping malls into Amazon distribution centers.
Yeah.
Right?
I've seen Kmart's go to churches. I've seen that
no way.
a few times.
Yeah.
My sister-in-law, she was involved with a church. My brother and sister-in-law, they were involved with the church, and for some reason, she's not an architect, but she's got a designer's eye, and they were like, hey, can you design this church? So it was a neighborhood Walmart, so one of the smaller Walmarts.
Okay.
And the church bought it, and she did this like, I don't know how many $1 million renovation on this place to make it into a big church and have the kids center and have the whatever all together. It was real weird, but she gave us a tour of the whole thing. I'm like, man, that's a lot of effort you put in here.
That's really cool. There's the old Stapleton Airport Tower is like a restaurant bar.
That would be fun.
Yeah. So they do this occasionally. Like you see like old industrial mills get turned into condos all the time.
Yeah. I've seen the other way where churches go to restaurants. I performed last year at a place that was a church that had a gym, like just like a regular basketball gym attached to it, but they did that in like the 20s, whatever. So everything's super old, big, giant, brick structure, really, really cool, very well renovated, high-end restaurant. And you walk in, you're like, this was a cathedral at one point. And my performance was in the little gym for a bunch of lawyers who some of them liked me and many of them did not. But
well,
we did it. We did it. So
that's crazy. That's crazy. So very short drive. How long would you have guessed if I'd asked you, Jake? How many minutes do you think the drive is between the corporate gig?
25.
25 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, zero.
0 minutes.
Unbelievable. Walking
0
distance.
minutes
I keep my show shoes on and not
that's
even
right.
bring them outdoors.
That's right. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yep.
I don't
I
know.
saw somebody else with show shoes recently. I mean, I don't know how many guys do this. You're the only person that I've met that did this, besides this other guy at Zanies. He was weird because he had nice dress shoes on, and he's a, you know, he's an older-ish guy. I mean, not old, but he's older-ish guy. He looks like a professional. You know, he's got, you know, collared shirt on, dress pants on, and he's got nice shoes on. And he takes the nice shoes off and puts on like sneakers for show for, and then he comes back off, takes off the
Are they
sneakers.
brightly colored?
They're brightly colored.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, they're my clown shoes, Jake.
Yeah, there you go. So
Yeah.
I've seen I've not done that. I've never done I have stage shoes, but I wear them while I drive to the event and everything.
Yeah.
Um
Are you a Stranger Things person?
I'm not, so I've had many people, and by many I mean one, tell me that, hey, you would love Stranger Things. You would be so into it. But my wife is such a weenie when it comes to like scary stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know how scary it is. I think it's made for children. I think Stranger Things is like a child's show. That's what, I don't
No.
know. I don't know.
I'd say it's PG-13.
But PG-13 is not like it. It's not Stephen King. It's not
Right.
like
No, it is
it's
not.
not Silence of
It's
the
not
Lambs.
horror.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe in a whole season, you might get like 1 minute of jump scare.
Yeah.
You know, but
So
no. But also the topics are kind of like, I'm not really spoiling anything. This is the very first episode, but there's kind of like an abduction of a child,
yeah.
which is not a comfortable
No.
topic.
No.
But
so like because my wife would not get into it, then it's like, okay, there are
so much trouble.
shows I can watch without my wife, you know, and like things that I like that she doesn't like. But if it's one of those that I have to pause it when she walks into the room, then it's a whole different category.
Right.
Like, I can watch stuff that she doesn't like, but that she doesn't like. I like Mythbusters. I'm a big Mythbusters fan. And so I'll watch Mythbusters, and she'll walk in the room. She doesn't enjoy the show, but she's not grossed out by it, so it's fine. You know, so that's the issue.
Have you all watched Ozark together?
No, so
is that too dark for her?
Probably. I don't know. I think we could give it a shot. Here's the interesting show that she liked that I did not expect her to like was Barry. With Bill Hader. Very good show.
Yeah, very funny, but very dark.
It has
I didn't see the last season. You have HBO?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to get that password from you someday.
I don't have my own password. My dad has HBO and has added me to it.
I don't have my own password. I love it. I'm an HBO guy. I don't have my own password, but I am. Yeah, I'm an HBO guy.
When you say you have HBO, I'm assuming I have access to it. I have.
I think I said, "Are you an HBO guy?"
I have access to HBO.
I got connections.
Yeah, so, but it's Barry. Barry was good. She'll bring that up. Like, I can't believe I ever watched Barry. It's so scary. And I'm like, in my world,
maybe Stranger Things won't be for her. If you do so much road work, I'd think you'd have plenty of time to watch some stuff.
Yeah. So some of that stuff, you know, a lot of times when I don't know, what do you do when you're driving? Like, well, here's an interesting confession. But what do you when you're driving?
I'm not watching Netflix if this is where this is headed.
Okay.
100% hard pass on any video stuff. The closest I'll ever get is a YouTube comedy special.
Yeah.
That I will play on my phone, but I won't watch the video at all. I just want the audio through the Bluetooth speakers.
Gotcha. Is that like a safety thing? Is that
You're not watching the video while you're driving. Yeah, and this is coming from somebody. When I was a kid, there was no texting and driving.
Yeah.
And there was no adaptive cruise control either, but I would read paperback novels while driving.
No.
I would drive with my knees and read.
No.
Absolutely. When I was like 17, that's like the worst time. You're the worst driver you're ever going to be and I would do these long drives, and they'd be really
Wow.
boring, and I would read, not
Okay.
all the time, but like if I had like
Okay.
a homework thing that I
Sure.
had to knock out, or and I was kind of like you'd read a couple sentences and then you'd
Yeah.
look up, you'd read it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was the original texter and driver. I was doing it with old school paper.
Paper. I've never heard of anybody doing texting and driving. So that or
Reading and driving.
reading paperbacks and driving. That's bananas. But so
The hardest part is because the paperback always wants to close on you.
yes,
If it was
yeah.
just like 8 by 11 sheets of paper,
Or nowadays, I mean, I'll read on my phone, read Kindle, like the
oh
Kindle
yeah,
app on my phone, and your eyes basically don't even have to move. Now I don't do that when I drive.
yeah. Statute of limitations. I'm
Yeah,
not going to speak to really what I'm doing on my phone while I'm driving today.
yeah,
But in
yeah.
the old days, yeah. Like I used to, do you remember T9?
Yes.
Do you know what that is? For anybody
Yes.
who doesn't know what that is, it's before they had smart screens,
Yep.
and you had to type a number like 3 times to get a specific letter.
Yep.
And so it was like this old school way of type. It took forever to send a message. Before they even had campaigns about don't text and drive, I was driving a stick, eating a Chipotle burrito, and T9 messaging
Yeah.
people or
On your
typing things,
Nokia.
just Googling
Yeah.
random things would pop into my head.
Yep.
How many eggs can a hen hatch? And I would just type that in T9 style.
Wow. Wow. Well, when I'm burning up the highway, there's often a video playing. Now, are my eyes glued to it? Of course not. But
On your
is
phone?
on my phone.
Yeah, see, part of the problem is my eyes aren't. I'm older than you are. My eyes aren't good enough to see the phone.
Ah.
It's too far away,
Yeah,
kind of.
it is, I mean, and I'm watching, it's mostly listening to, but, shows that you've seen before or like Judge Judy. How much do you need to see Judge Judy?
Right. Yeah,
You
yeah.
know? Which you do. I did Masterclass for a long time. I had a Masterclass subscription. I don't anymore, but I basically I
Now,
don't
wait, quick qualifying question.
yeah.
Was it your subscription or a relative subscription?
This one, it's kind of a relative. But the
I want everybody to rewind the tape. Jake said, I had a Masterclass
this is the way it
subscription.
worked. This is the way it worked. Is I bought it as a gift for my dad, and it came with you buy one subscription, you get two for free. Like
Okay.
you get the
All
second
right.
one for free. So like
BOGO.
I gave this subscription to my dad, but I also had a full subscription myself. So that's what happened. Anyway, so I had Masterclass, and there's only so much Masterclass that exists, and I basically watched all of it. Like I
Okay.
watched all of Masterclass, and the thing is I
Is there
only
a comedy one? Is it like
yeah,
Steve
there's
Martin?
several comedy ones.
Are they good?
They're okay. I watched the Steve Martin one twice. Um, Part of it I really liked it. I like the Judd Apatow one. That was interesting.
I would not take advice from him on stand
Yeah.
up. Movies, yes,
Yeah.
but
But so there's a couple of them. And I watched the business ones, I watched the negotiating ones, I watched all of these crazy like AI and whatever. But I only did it while I was driving. Like I never did Masterclass outside of the car, which
that's
I love.
terrible.
I felt like it was just a beautiful combination of doing something very smart and very stupid at the same time.
Yeah.
So
Oh man. Yeah, I do a lot of audiobooks, podcasts. What I used to do, this was I don't know why this has changed, but I don't seem to do it as much. Maybe it's because I have a pretty solid act at this point.
mm,
But I used to have these. It also could be where I'm driving.
mm,
I used to drive to like the middle of nowhere. I drive to Glasgow, Montana from Denver. It's like 12 plus hours. You could drive for 40 minutes and not see another car.
yeah.
So I would actually get out a notebook and listen to an hour-long set that I had done
Mm,
and take notes. I'd pause and write stuff down and be like, okay, this joke could actually go like 10 minutes ago. There was this different joke. They're kind of similar. Maybe I should combine them. And
mm,
I'd think of an extra tag and I'd write it down. And I'd take all these notes. And then I would do the entire modified hour while looking at the notes after that.
Huh.
And before you knew it, that was 3 hours of the drive gone.
Yeah.
It was great. It was really, but writing notes while you're driving is definitely not. Do not do that at home, kids.
That's tough. That's tough. I used to do something whenever I started in open mics, that the
Just to
drive.
be clear, I do want to be clear because for some people, writing means tapping on your phone. No, I mean like a ballpoint
Yeah,
pen,
you were good.
paper
I knew.
notebook.
I mean,
Yeah.
I thought
I feel like that's safer for some reason.
you look like a fountain pen guy.
Yeah, I'm
So
not.
I was picturing fountain pen, maybe a quill,
Yeah.
but definitely a piece of parchment. And but whenever I started in open mics, that's exactly what I would, not exactly, but I would do something similar, because I felt like every open mic was 25 minutes away, and
Yeah.
so you got 25 minutes. And I would, whatever jokes I was doing that night, I would say them out loud again and again the whole time.
Yeah.
The whole way there, I'm just saying them out loud, and then I finally get there and I get the chance to say it in front of 0 people and only comics, and it's all worth it.
Yeah. I
But
really should be doing that
yeah,
still. I think part of it too is I've lost any kind of motivation to listen to an hour of me doing comedy.
yeah.
It's really, this isn't really a reflection of my comedy, but I personally am bored listening to my comedy. It's
No,
not,
no, I'm
and
with
it's
you.
what?
I get it. I get the sentiment of, I have done these jokes
Yeah.
so many times. Like, I had a buddy of mine come out to the show in Nashville at Zanies, and he was like, last time he came to New Material Monday, and he, there were some good comics on the bill with me, and but he was like, "You did the best." And I don't think it was even close. I think you did really well. And I'm like, well, if they're doing new stuff and I'm doing the hits, that's not really fair to compare. But I appreciate it. I might have. I did really, really well, and I was happy about that. But most recently, I did the Nate Land, where everybody's doing clean, and again, really good comics on this thing, full on headliners: AJ Wilkerson, uh, John Christ, some really like banger of comedians are on this thing. And afterwards, I was telling him, and he says, "Well, nobody bombed." That was his feedback, and I'm like, I feel like he's honest, and I was like, I think I did okay. Very serviceable, but very middle of the road. Just kind of like, I was one of the comedians, and we all did good.
Yeah.
Which is fine, and you can't. I don't think you can expect to like blow everybody away, and you want everybody to do well. So it's not like you want, well, 8 of them bombed and I did great. You don't want that either. So the one feedback though, that he was like, but I've heard all those jokes before. So I was like, yeah, well, I know
Yeah.
you have.
Yeah.
But
That's
so,
funny. He had the option to say you were the best, clearly, and did
and
not take that option
did
at
not
that
take
show.
the option. Did not take the option. Which I heard most of the people, and some of those guys are so good. I don't know. There's a comic element that I do not have in my act, that I don't know if I need to start developing. And it's just this character work. It's this voices, and it's this like, hey, John Chris does this a lot. Some other, like, or really animated, like very animated. I am telling jokes and being in the moment, and trying to talk to the audience. But some of these other guys are, really jumping around and doing
Performing.
stuff, performing. Yeah.
Yeah. And telling jokes at the
And
same time.
telling jokes, sometimes not as much. It's like, I think on paper, it's this question. On paper, is it still funny? Like, I think a lot of the stuff I say on paper is still funny.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff, these other guys are getting huge laughs, and on paper, not that funny. But because they are acting it out, it is. And I've heard this recently about Chris Rock. That Chris Rock, when he was working on his material, would do this thing where he would basically perform it kind of neutral and make
wouldn't really perform it.
Wouldn't
He would
really
just like say the words.
Yeah. And then if those got, and then he would add the Chris
If it was
Rock.
funny, he would test out if it was funny
Yeah.
by being as boring as possible, but just saying the jokes. And then once he figured out what his best jokes were, then he'd add in his character. He's a big personality.
Yep.
Yeah. I saw Chris Rock at the Comedy Cellar once. Pretty cool, like 75 people. Really fun.
Wow, that's always fun.
They said your next comic, he came in from Brooklyn, New York, make some noise for Chris Rock, and people went nuts.
Yeah.
He wasn't on a lineup or anything.
Yep.
And he wasn't great, honestly. I mean, he closed super strong. He crushed in the last like minute or two, but he did 10 minutes of he was open micing, obviously. Yeah. And he wasn't putting any energy into it, and he was sitting on a stool. And
I bet you, I mean, that's probably how you'd have to do it. I mean, if you're I guess the other option would be if you're doing an endless tour, if you're always on tour, and you just kind of put in a new 2 minutes, new 3 minutes in the middle of your act, and try to work it out that way. But I mean, that's the way I would do it. I would, if you're a big name, you don't want people to come out, buy tickets to come to see you, and then you're working on new stuff.
Right.
You don't want that.
Yeah. So I've definitely seen that at Comedy Works, and it's pretty disappointing.
Yeah.
That's really cool that you get to go to Zanies all the time.
Yeah.
How does that work? How do you get on that Monday night show?
Yeah.
Or do they just know you and they
know me enough? They know me more than I maybe deserve. But I think I've said this before, is I really would like to expand my market. Like right now, I'm very well known in Louisville. And I've said this before. I've said this to people like, oh, I'm in Louisville at the time, and like, hey, my brother-in-law does comedy. Well, does he know me? Because if he doesn't know me, then he doesn't do comedy. Because that's how much I am in everything. I'm everywhere all the time. So anyway, and a lot more people know me than I know them. I'm very recognizable. It's a thing. And so I've thought about like having the extra, another city be Cincinnati. We've talked about this. Like, Joe, I want to be
secondary
market. But it's like, I like Cincinnati. They've got some great comics in Cincinnati. They got some good clubs in Cincinnati. I'm for it. But I feel more like a Nashville guy. I feel more Nashville than I do.
Is that because of the clean element, or is it just like the vibe of the city?
The clean element is a big one. I've gotten booked there a lot. I've gotten booked in.
You're getting better momentum there.
I feel like I got a little bit better momentum.
Remind me the drive times between the two, because I think Nashville is less convenient.
Nashville is slightly less convenient. So, it is less convenient. So it takes about 2 hours to get anywhere of note in Cincinnati. And that's because there's always going to be traffic.
Okay.
So the thing is, it's going to be 2 hours there and an hour and a half back.
Okay.
That's the way it works.
Okay.
Nashville, you can get to places that are considered Nashville in 2.5 hours, with basically no traffic.
Yikes.
And then
pretty far.
Zanies is about 3 hours, and there's not usually bad traffic. The thing between Louisville and Cincinnati is there's this bridge, and everybody has to use the bridge, and it takes forever to get across the bridge.
Yep.
So
with Nashville, do you like put in avails? I mean, with Zanies.
So what I did with this is I got booked to do a youth conference, and so it was in Nashville, and I was like, hey, I'm going to be in Nashville anyway.
Yeah.
Let me send out the email. So I sent the email to the booker, and basically that's what I said. Is I'm going to be in Nashville. Here's a date. Can you get me on? Nateland Live and
How
New
far
Music.
in advance did you do that?
I did that probably 10 days.
Oh, wow.
Like
Okay.
very short.
Okay.
Like I did it so short that I also gave other dates,
Mm.
and they were like, "Oh, that's good. Let's do it." And
Huh.
just added me on. I was able to do both, which is very exciting.
Nice.
It's always fun to do both.
You
And
mean the back-to-back Monday night shows?
yeah, and it's because you just walk, just they put you on early.
Oh, are they overlap? Are they at the same time?
It started at the same time.
Oh, neat. Cool.
So you go do the early show, the one you walk.
Do they have different green rooms?
They have different green rooms. They have
Okay.
different entrances. The easiest way that I was told to go from one to the other is to literally walk outside for like,
Huh.
10 feet, go
Yeah.
in the main entrance.
Yeah, I have to take my show shoes off.
You'd have to take your show shoes off. Yeah. But yeah,
I'll
I
walk
did
on my hands.
and so, I mean, it was kind of this very similar to what you did in Colorado Springs. It's like, hey, I'm a big deal already. Can you add me onto another show? It's like that's
Just to be clear, that was not really what I did. I didn't expect to get a spot, honestly.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
did kind of really, my goal there was to remind the person that I existed.
Yeah.
And in a way to flex a little. Hey, I got this corporate with a couple
Yeah.
aerospace companies. Because the person, maybe they saw me 2 years ago at an open mic or 4 years ago at an open mic because they're in a different market. So we don't overlap very frequently. And I just wanted to remind them that, hey, I'm around and I'm doing things. And I was pleasantly surprised that they said, yeah, I can get you a spot.
Yeah, I think that's I'm for it. I'm for this idea of like, hey, I'm doing a corporate gig in the city because I think that means, hey, I've got plenty of time. I can work clean and I'm good enough to get paid to do this sort of stuff. I'm like a real, it's saying a lot.
Yeah.
In just saying I'm doing a corporate gig in Colorado Springs.
Yeah. Exactly. You're sending a message.
You're sending a message. You're saying, hey, you don't know me, but you should.
I got a couple more questions about Zanies. Do those spots pay?
Yes.
Okay. How do they pay? Do they mail you a check? Do they hand you a check? Do they give you cash? What do they do?
It's different on both shows. So on Nateland Live, Nateland Live is produced. I would say it probably is the right word, by Nate's sister.
Okay.
And so she's in the green room. Very nice gal. And she has you sign this little thing that says that they can use it on their YouTube channel. They've never used me on their YouTube channel, but they're allowed to, I guess.
I think John Novosad just had one.
Yeah. And then they
do you have to sign it to perform? Do you know?
I don't know. I don't know. And then they give you $100 cash. So
nice.
For 10 minutes on a Monday, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
And then
Zanie, let me just throw in that it's not good if you consider you're signing away your video rights.
Well,
in the sense that they can monetize your content without you getting anything. That's not great. That's not the best. But I agree, $100 for 10 minutes on a Monday night.
I would be pumped if they put me on and then it made it got 1 million views and I got $0 of that 1 million views. I could care less. I would be pumped.
Okay.
Like, give me, put me in the stable of the Nateland. But then Zanies, they don't make you sign anything like that. But theirs is dynamic in like they sell tickets, and the more tickets are sold, the more money you get. So I don't know exactly how much I'll get this last time because they're gonna mail me the check. But they figure it out and then they split it and then there you go. So sometimes it's like $70, but it's like this. It's always weird amounts, like 79, 36, something like that.
Yeah. Okay. Last question. You ever seen Nate in the green room or ever been in a green room at the same time as Nate?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I have a Nate story.
Hold your answer for the Patreon, Jake.
Oh,
let's hear that story in the Patreon. Everybody check out our Patreon, patreon.com/Mark and Jake. Mark took a gamble there and it worked. Unbelievable. Jake, this episode's coming out December 8th.
Yes.
December 12th, I'm doing a comedy show for surgeons up in Loveland, Colorado. It's a private event at a very fancy I don't know, like a spa retreat kind of wellness place. And maybe on the Patreon, maybe not this week, but sometime soon, I'm going to spitball some surgeon jokes with you. We'll work on those. In the Patreon, I also want to talk about Jeremiah Watkins. This is we forgot about doing this last time. Is a Skankfest story. One of the best crowd work moments I've ever experienced in person.
Ooh.
Unbelievable. And Chad Daniels told possibly my favorite joke ever.
Nice.
At a Comedy Works show I went to downtown this week, and I'm going to tell it to you on the Patreon. So everybody tune into the Patreon, markmasters.co to reach out to me. What do you got, Jake?
I've got a corporate gig on the 12th, but nobody's invited. And then I'm back in Nashville on the 20th. Actually, Gallatin, which is a little bit north of Nashville. And that one is you're able to come. So come to that one. It'll be a lot of fun.
All right. So, thanks, everybody, for tuning in to Mark and Jake Try to Make It. We're rolling over to the Patreon. See you next time.